Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay.
I don't really know what to say right now. I'm just so mad.
Okay. So it's been a long time. I know. It always has been a long time when we say that. It's just hard to do videos and
It's
stuff.
hard to talk about the wrestling
This
business
is
right
this
now.
is the first time I've seen Bill in a couple of months. So I mean, we still talk on the phone and stuff. We're just not always around each other. But anyways, um, you know, I've been saying that I don't want to talk about pro wrestling because it's frustrating and annoying, and definitely don't want to talk about TNA. But I feel like it's time. I feel
And-
like we have to.
And everybody asked for it, and if you guys could hear some of Doug and I's phone conversations, my God, they're not pretty.
No.
I mean, just what's happened in this last week. We keep up with news. I do not DVR Impact. I do not watch the pay-per-views. I do not buy the merchandise. I don't have anything to do with TNA. I don't even go to their website.
Well, but let's start back. Okay, why did we do videos in the first place? We did videos because we believed that the WWE sold out its fan base and basically just fed us a bunch of crap. So we saw TNA and we saw one of the best wrestlers in the world go to TNA and Kurt Angle. We saw all these independent wrestlers that were unbelievable in the ring, and they took independent wrestling to mainstream television. And you got that every week. And then you got a pay-per-view every month, and the pay-per-view was awesome. The writing might have not always been the best, but at least in the ring, the action was unbelievable.
And their product really, it was branded as the company that no matter what show they had, no matter what pay-per-view was going on, no matter who was on the card, you were going to get a great wrestling show. Because all of the young talent did their very best and were put in a position to be the forefront of the company.
Yep.
They were not being overshadowed by a lot of veterans. Yeah, you had your Jeff Jarrett's and you had your Kevin Nash and stuff, but those guys were really secondary when it came to the product back then.
Yep. And the thing is, too, is with TNA, it was different. They branded themselves. We are wrestling. We're different from this company. So you believed in them. And we fought for them forever. We started videos in 2006. It's now 2011. Okay, so we've been doing this for a long time. And now, I'm not going to say the roles have reversed, because I don't think the WWE isn't all that special right now either. But TNA has lost their identity. They have no clue of what they're doing. And if you had faith in them before, you definitely shouldn't have faith in them now. I mean, right now, I don't even know what to say.
They have lost their mind. This last year for TNA has been atrocious. Atrocious. And what are you doing now? You send a strung-out Jeff Hardy to the ring for a pay-per-view main event that people paid $34.95 for, and it lasts a minute and 20 seconds. That is how you will be remembered when your company goes out of business, because you've got idiots making decisions for your company. Dixie Carter, you are an idiot for not pulling Jeff Hardy out of the main event and putting in a replacement. That is common business sense. You have pissed off whatever little customers you have left, whatever 5,000 people bought your Victory Road pay-per-view that didn't mean crap to begin with.
Yes.
That didn't have any meaning to begin with. Now, you have ruined your credibility so badly that I don't think those people will order a pay-per-view for a very long time or ever again if you do not change now.
Here's my thing, though, okay? The problem is I don't really care what they did with Jeff Hardy, because I didn't care about the pay-per-view from the beginning. I didn't watch the pay-per-view. Did I have an opportunity to watch pay-per-view? Yeah. I can watch any pay-per-view from TNA Wrestling on stream. And I'll tell you why. Okay, first of all, it's not that monitored because not very many people buy it. It's not a big success. So you can pretty much find a stream on any TNA pay-per-view. Do I believe in streams? No. But if I want to watch something and I don't want to pay for it, yes, I could use a stream. Guess what? I don't even want to watch it. You want to know why? Because Impact absolutely sucks. There's no build-up for anything, and there's no meaning behind anything. So, a free $34.95 show, and I don't want anything to do with it. For free. A show that I used to pay $34.95 gladly for. What's the problem there? Okay? And then TNA was always having match of the year candidates. I couldn't tell you the last match of the year candidate that they've had. I couldn't tell you a great match that they've had. And then, not just that, you've got Mr. Anderson dominating the television. You've got Rob Van Dam, who neither one of them produced anything worthwhile in a very long time. Okay? Now you're bringing in Bully Ray to the main event. First of all, what kind of name is Bully Ray? Did a kindergartner come up with that name? Yeah. Bully Ray? Are you serious? And then you've got Sting. Let's talk about Stink, okay? Sting, you thought it was so great that Sting didn't sign with the WWE and decided to come to TNA. Let me explain something to you, okay? There is a difference between Sting coming to a WWE ring and a TNA ring, okay? And especially if it's at a WrestleMania. It's a big deal, okay? Because he never stepped foot in a WWE ring, and that's how people wanted to see him in his career. To go to the WWE, to face The Undertaker, and then call it a career. They wanted that moment.
It's like closure.
Sting coming to TNA means absolutely zero. Nobody's excited about it. In fact, we dread it. And then you get excited because he gets a loud pop in front of a North Carolina audience. Here's a news flash. Those people have probably never seen Sting in their life. So yeah, they're going to be excited. They get to see Sting. But do they care that the guy's on TV now? Heck no.
And then to top it all off, to ruin the credibility of the World Championship, which you've done time and time again, it was already ruined way before this match. But you take a guy who hasn't wrestled a full schedule in God knows how long, who hasn't been on TV in God knows how long, come in there and beat Jeff Hardy within a few minutes and win the world title.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Are you serious?
Well, I'm thankful that at least he didn't wear a T-shirt during the thing because he was so out of shape that he had to wrestle in a T-shirt.
But here's the difference between Sting and morons and idiots like Jeff Hardy, okay? I have more respect for Sting than I do for Jeff Hardy. And here's the reason, because Sting cares about the business. He doesn't have to go out and wrestle. He chooses to do it because he loves professional wrestling. Granted, should TNA put him in the main event? Hell no. He has no business being in the main event because he is not a great wrestler. And any of the young guys on the TNA roster could easily beat Sting, and people with common sense know that. Because Sting's time is done and it's over. But the difference is Sting won't show up to a show all cracked out. Sting won't show up to a show and disrespect the fans that paid the money to watch him on pay-per-view. And there's the difference.
And then I got another shout out, okay? This is a guy that I believed in. This is a guy that we fought for. And I want people to put this on his Twitter, and I want him to watch this. Matt Hardy, you are a joke, my friend. Okay? You left the WWE. You said you were going to change professional wrestling. You said you were going to change the creative process and all this other crap. And instead, you signed with TNA to be a mute with Immortal. And now you're cold blood. Oh, real scary now, Matt. Matt Hardy, you are irrelevant. Okay? You had plenty of potential. You had a big buzz, and you were viewed as a main eventer when you were facing Edge. And then you got de-pushed and went to SmackDown, and you've never been anything since. And then you thought, by going to TNA, that you were going to change your career, and instead, you've only made it worse. And then you have the balls to defend TNA and their creative process and your brother, okay? Enough's enough. Jeff isn't fine. We all know that. Jeff is not fine. If Jeff shows up messed up going to a TNA pay-per-view, that means that that guy has to do something drug-related every day to get to where he can function. And obviously he can't even function, okay? So your brother's messed up. You're old news, bro. You're old news. You can do your Angelic Diablo. You can do whatever you want. But you no longer deliver in the ring. You're no longer impressive.
And TNA does that, and he should have known that TNA does that to other guys that leave and go there, that their careers pretty much become irrelevant when they join the company.
If John Cena went to TNA, he would be irrelevant in 6 months. Guaranteed.
Because the creative process and Dixie Carter, who should be completely accountable for the way her company's run, and apparently doesn't have the brass to actually run a wrestling company because she lets everybody else control it. And the problem that I have more than anything, Doug, is the fact that you have all of these young guys with all of this talent going out there and feeding off of their passion for pro wrestling to have a great match, because there is no more passion for TNA left.
Nothing.
And you tell me if that's wrong. Please, feel free to message us if we're wrong, because I don't think we are. I feel like the young talent no longer has a passion to go out there and deliver for TNA solely. I think at one point they believed in the company. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, they believed in the company and what the company was doing. They believed in the direction. Now you've got Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and Vince Russo, and Ed Ferrara, and God knows who else backstage, and it is absolutely unacceptable. You guys have no business being in the pro wrestling business. And I hate to say this, but I hope you guys go under, because it's a lesson that you need to learn. You need to be held accountable for all of the stupidity that you have done, all of the decisions that you have made, and the only way to hold them accountable is by, number one, the fans not watching the show, not buying the pay-per-view, not going to the website, not ordering the merchandise. Take the money out of their pocket.
Let me tell you something, though, okay? We say stupidity. People are like, what's so stupid about TNA? What's so dumb about some of the decisions they make? Okay, let's go with this Jersey Shore thing, okay? It's one thing to have some valet act like Cookie or Snooki and call herself Cookie, and then have another dude that has the Pauly D haircut and call himself saying my dude and all that stuff. Okay, that's fine. I understand that, but you're promoting a show, Jersey Shore, that comes on Thursdays at 8 o'clock at night. Doesn't Impact come on Thursdays at 8 o'clock at night? So, what sense does that make? Not just that. You're happy to sign Angelina as a pro wrestler. Okay, Angelina is like the white trash of Jersey Shore. She's the scum of Jersey Shore. Nobody liked Angelina, okay? Angelina got kicked out the first season. She got fired from a job because she decided not to show up. The second season, she got in arguments. This is the girl that left her dirty maxi pad on the bathroom floor, okay? And you're proud to present her as a pro wrestler. Does that make any sense whatsoever? It shows that we couldn't get Pauly D. We couldn't get Vinny. We couldn't get Mike the Situation. We couldn't get JWoww. We couldn't get Snooki. Couldn't get Ronnie. Couldn't get Sammy. That's the whole cast. We had to get the dirty white trash version of Angelina. The Angelina has to come to the show. What does that make you look? It makes you look second rate. This is easy business sense that you do not have. You've never had it. You took Pac-Man Jones, a guy that is completely irrelevant now, and for what? He couldn't even wrestle in the ring.
And you made him a tag team champion.
You made him a tag team champion. And the only reason I defended him is because Ron the Truth Killings I was a fan of. But I mean, now you look back at him, you go, my God, how stupid were they? You know? You had a number one contendership match that ended in a draw. Then the next week you have a number one contendership match that you would think you'd correct that mistake, and then you ended in a draw again.
Yeah, it's like a double pinfall or something.
You have the security guard become the new TV champion. Okay, you have Immortal join Fortune, and then have announced that they are coming. And it's Fortune because you couldn't sign Main Event Mafia that nobody liked in the first place. Okay?
After they already did they once.
You have Eric Bischoff on Monday Night Mayhem talking about how they'll never beat the WWE, they can never compete with the WWE, that Scott Steiner is a workhorse. Like, none of this stuff makes any sense.
Did he really say that?
He did. He said that Scott Steiner is a workhorse, and that's why he was brought back. A workhorse, the guy gasses out in 3 minutes, okay? And Eric Bischoff is a complete moron. He is a complete moron. He is known as a failure in the long run. And the only reason that he did anything is because he had Ted Turner's pocketbook, okay? And Yeah, he did controversial decisions, but it's easy to counteract what Vince McMahon's doing. It's like, okay, Vince is doing this, and I'm going to do this, and Vince is doing that. Well, you guys don't even know what you're doing.
Yep.
And then, I said criticism of Hulk Hogan. He watched the video, and he got a little butt hurt that I told the truth. Hogan, you're a broken man, okay? You're in your Jamaican religion, okay? You almost killed yourself and you wanted to talk about it on A&E. That's fine.
And
whatever.
then you make a sick joke about the tsunami that happened on Impact because you think you're, pop culture.
Well, they're taking it to a whole nother level, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to take it to a whole nother level and say you're a complete moron.
Listen, you're not the American hero that we grew up as a kid watching. You got tattoos. You look like a complete loser. You're an old grandpa now in the ring, and you're trying to get back in the ring. You've had, 75 back surgeries, okay? Thank you for your contributions. There's the door.
Goodbye.
Ric Flair, there's the door.
Well, the thing is, Doug, the problem that we have is guys like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, all they know is what was life on the road.
Yeah.
That's all they remember. That's all they lived their whole life. So what happens when it's time to retire and face the real world? They can't do it. So what do? They find the nearest wrestling ring and they jump in it.
But what's the number one issue with that is every job there's a boss there that has a brain that says, look, they can't hang anymore. We're gonna have to let them go, or we're gonna have to use them in a capacity, to help promote TNA.
No. If there's a problem, no matter how big or how little it is, we're just going to send him home.
Yeah, we'll send him home.
We're going to send Jeff Hardy home.
We're going to send him home because he has
that's
a problem.
going to affect his paycheck.
Yeah.
We're going to send him home. We're going to give him a little slap on the wrist, and then a month later, after all this cools down, we'll let him come back, win the title, have him all drugged out again.
Well,
we'll send him home again.
Well, you know what's fun too is if you're struggling in the ratings, well, the best thing to do is just rehash old marital problems and just put it right on TV.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Let's make Jeff Jarrett look more superior than Kurt Angle. Let's do that. Who is the moron that is behind that booking, okay? Kurt Angle should be your guy. He is your workhorse. You want match of your candidates with this guy. Why are you bringing in Karen Angle and his kids and Jeff Jarrett? What is the point in that? Nobody wants to see that as a pro wrestling fan. We want to see Kurt Angle kick ass.
Yeah.
We don't want to see Kurt Angle have to walk his ex-wife down the aisle that we all grew up with. And the thing is we know the backstory and we're disgusted with it, okay? Jeff Jarrett's wife died, okay? We saw that on Slammiversary. He couldn't make it. He's upset. We all felt for him. And then we all know Kurt Angle and Karen Angle. They've been around for years. So you're going to split that up, you're going to put that two together, and then you're going to rub it in our face and make Kurt Angle go through all this crap?
And you're going to demean the man? It's just absolutely horrific. This guy should be having match of the year candidates with the best wrestlers in the world. That's where Kurt Angle thrives. Kurt Angle loves challenges, and you should be giving that to him. But of course you're not.
No, and where's Jay Lethal? Where's Motor City Machine Guns? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why is AJ Styles losing to Matt Hardy? After you just booked him as the head of Fortune, and that's the thing with you. You put something on there, you get excited about it, but we know you're going to mess it up. That's why we don't even invest our time into it. Because the booking is so bad. And everybody in the industry has told you that. Yeah. But yet you can't let go of Russo. And then you had the opportunity to get Paul Heyman, and then he bounced. He's like, no, you want to know why he said? He said because TNA would not let him get rid of the veterans. And that's exactly what needs to happen. These guys suck now. They're garbage. Hogan, you're garbage. Watch this, and you're garbage. Nobody wants to see you anymore, bro. You were a childhood hero of all of ours, but now you're a waste of space in the ring.
You've ruined your credibility. Whatever little credibility you had left, it's gone.
Watch the WrestleMania documentary. It's on Netflix right now. Watch it on instant streaming. And you will see this iconic figure of Hulk Hogan. You will see a guy that transcended the business. You will see a guy that is larger-than-life icon. That's not what you see in TNA anymore.
Nope.
Guy's all strumming around with his rejected NWO music freaking hobbling into the ring. Like, are you kidding me right now? Immortal? Immortal for what? You have like 2 bodyguards, a rejected Hardy, Eric Bischoff, and a Hogan, and a Jeff Jarrett who is on his honeymoon with his kids and Kurt Angle's kids. Like, are you serious? How does that sound cool at all? How does that sound like a good idea? And don't call me no Mark that doesn't know what I'm talking about. I've invested all this time, and guess what? You idiots have given us all the secrets. So we know a lot about the business, and we know what sucks, and we know what's good. TNA sucks. Finally, on top of that, I'm not done. I'm going to talk about the WWE now, because I'm sure everybody's like, well, you know, they give it up on TNA, they're going on WWE's bandwagon. Okay. Why are you booking The Rock and Cena like it's going to happen, and yet The Miz and Cena is the main event? I'll tell you why. Because you know that The Miz is not a main eventer. You know that. But yet he's champion. So what sense does that make? At all.
Champions don't mean anything either.
Absolutely not. And I believe that Cena has a very valid point. And I believe that The Rock is somewhat of a fraud. I mean, why is The Rock say he's not there to promote a movie or anything like that, although Fast and the Furious comes out at the end of April. I'm just saying. Just saying. And also his movie Faster came out on Blu-ray right around that same time. Just saying again. Anyways... He's hitting us up with via satellite. The problem with The Rock is, okay, he had the nerve to come out when Stone Cold Steve Austin left and came in and talked about how this is his home and he's never going to leave. Gone 7 years. 7 years. And then if you even brought up the WWE, it was like, well, I don't know. I'm not going to do the people's eyebrow or anything like that. All of a sudden, The Rock's back, and you're just like, oh my gosh, Rocky's back. And then one night, now it's via satellite all over again, okay? And Cena's basically saying, look, I'm here every night, I'm busting my butt, and he is. No doubt about it, Cena has a very legit case. The only problem is Rock is right. Cena's just not that talented, okay?
He never has.
The Rock is here, John Cena is here. Maybe here, okay?
And The Rock could come back tomorrow and out-wrestle Cena like he's never left.
And The Rock can shred him on the mic live, and he will eventually.
Yep.
The thing is, though, is they're booking this thing like it's going to happen, and it's not. And more than likely, The Rock is going to help Cena beat The Miz, and they're going to walk off in the sunset, and Rock is going back to Hollywood.
And nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
The way for The Rock to gain the respect of the fans back, those that actually buy into what Cena's saying, which I do in some case, is to
I
go
think
and
Cena's pointing out the truth.
Yeah, oh, he is, and The Rock doesn't like it, and that's what I like because it's pissing him off.
Yes,
for real.
I love it.
And so this may get his passion back to the point where he wants to get in the ring and show Cena, hey, this is what I'm made of. I can still do this.
Listen, I think The Rock is one of the greatest of all time, and I absolutely want The Rock back in the ring. But in my opinion, The Rock coming back is only valid if he steps foot in that ring and has a match.
That's right.
If he does not step foot and have a match,
Cena's right.
You can talk about your love for the WWE, the love for the all that. That's his home. Blah blah. It's all bullcrap.
Yep.
It's all bullcrap. It's all manufactured. You're a Hollywood actor. Get your ass in the ring.
Yep.
That's where you made your money.
Yeah.
That's where you became the people's champion. And Cena has insulted you to the point where he has questioned what you're all about, and we all have questioned it now because you gave us reason. You were gone 7 years, and you didn't even want to talk about the WWE. Now all of a sudden you're back. Get in the ring. Make it a triple threat, or next year Cena and Rock WrestleMania. Something has to happen. You have to get in the ring one more time.
I just think Cena and The Rock have to have it one-on-one, and that's it.
I agree, and it's a huge match. It's a huge match, big build-up. Everybody's
But
excited
what's the
for it.
future of this business? I mean, there really isn't much
Absolutely.
of a future. I mean,
The core absolutely sucks. Nexus absolutely sucks.
And the sad thing is, you know where the future is, Doug? It's in TNA.
Yeah.
But you know what? We don't see it.
Nope.
We don't see it. The guys that are busting their butts, they're busting their butts for nothing, so that they can be remembered as guys that worked for a company that was poorly mismanaged.
And Strikeforce, they sold to the UFC. Maybe give TNA the idea, but honestly, I don't think the WWE wants TNA. It's worthless.
Yeah.
Who wants the footage? Who wants anything? It's worthless. And if you want the contracts, I mean, they're not going to use these guys either.
Yep.
You know? So they're not going to want TNA. So, in my opinion, pro wrestling as a whole has lost they've lost a pulse on what the wrestling fans want.
Yep.
They have no clue what the wrestling fans want. And if you watch Big Show's documentary on Netflix, he's like, well, you know, back in the day, we believed on selling the most seats, generating the most money, and putting on the best show possible. Okay, so does that mean you don't believe that anymore? Because that's generally what the feeling is around the wrestling business now, is we don't believe that anymore.
Yep.
You know? We're putting on multiple shows, and it's about quantity and not quality. Quality is out. You know? And people are all like, you know, you're too harsh on this. Are you kidding me? Watch the show. Stuff sucks.
Yep.
It absolutely sucks. I don't care about WrestleMania this year. You know, it has somewhat interest. You know, Triple H and Taker, whatever. You know, what else is there? Edge and Albert Del Rio. Another thing that is completely garbage. Albert Del Rio, I don't care if you like him. That's fine. He had no business being in the main event of WrestleMania. No business. He's being rushed just like Jack Swagger was rushed, just like CM Punk was rushed, just like Sheamus was rushed. All these guys were rushed, and it's ended up hurting them in the long run, because what happens is if you become champion and then you go all the way to below mid-card, then you're just not looked at as very good, period. And that never happened back in the day. You didn't become champion and then go way under to the show opener.
Yeah, and,
you know?
And that's the thing, is they spent the time and invested their money and time and effort in guys that deserve to be there. And I'm not saying the young guys won't eventually deserve to be there, but they're too young, man. The guys that were in the main event, your Austins, your Rocks, they spent a lot of time building their careers to get to that point, to where they were solidified and bona fide main event.
And you want to talk about a pop, okay?
Yep.
When The Rock showed up, that is a pop.
Yep.
It is something where people cannot even stay in their seat.
Yeah, when Booker T
when
showed
their
up,
arms are moving, that
Yeah.
they're going crazy,
And
because these guys have built up an iconic legend, okay? And now these new superstars are just guys in tights with no characters.
Yep.
No personality, no charisma, just they're there, you know? And yet, you know, you're supposed to be all like, oh, this is the future superstar. And they might be. But here's the thing. If Rocky Maivia was just rushed out there, given the title, it didn't work as him as a babyface, they sent him all the way back, and then they decided not to make him a heel because he was champion as a face, he might have never became The Rock.
Yep.
You know, if Stone Cold didn't struggle in WCW and then find out what really worked for him when he went to the WWE, what if they kept with this ringmaster gimmick the whole time,
but what
and
happened,
never gave him the
Doug?
chance?
What happened? They listened to the fans' reaction.
And this is
And
what
this
is
is
what
the
I'm
key.
gonna say. This is how I'm gonna finish it out. Pro wrestling and boxing both stopped listening to their fans, and both are two very struggling businesses right now. And if you're a lower rate pro wrestling company like TNA and you do not listen to your fans, you are not going to be around very
And
long.
not only have they not listened, Doug, they spit in our face.
They spit in our face. They embarrassed us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pissed off because we put our name on the line for them, and look what they did.
Yep.
You know, people want to say that we were paid by TNA and all that crap. We were never paid by TNA. Okay, we received some free T-shirts because we were fans, and they couldn't actually put us on a payroll, so they gave us some free T-shirts. They hooked us up with tickets to St. Louis. That were crappy seats, by the way. You have to pay to actually get good seats. They put you on a roll call and they put you up in the nosebleeds.
But my thing is, we paid for the plane tickets.
We paid for the plane ticket.
Gas,
we paid for all that crap.
For everything.
And the bottom line is, we believed in TNA.
Yep.
Okay, we really believed in TNA. We put our hearts on the line with TNA. We fought for TNA. And instead, they bring in morons like Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff and Jeff Hardy and even Ken Anderson. Who gives a crap? He's horrible as a babyface. They bring in Matt Morgan, and you know, we thought Matt Morgan was legit because Jim Cornette put him over so much in OVW. He turned out to be garbage. I mean, they've got all these different wrestlers, and a bunch of them are just hot garbage that are all in the main event.
Yep.
So,
I don't see them being around another year if
I don't
they
either.
continue on this path.
I don't
and
either.
that's not just bull crap that I'm spewing either. Like honestly, I
Yeah.
don't think they will be around.
I
another
agree.
year.
I agree. Before it was like, dude, they're not going to sell. They're
They're not going out of
thriving.
business.
They're
Yeah.
going to live events. No, they're in trouble. They're in serious trouble. And you know they're spending way more money than what they have right now.
Yep.
You know it. All it has to do is Spike TV pull that plug, and they will. Because guess what? UFC bought Strikeforce. UFC is going to need more TV time, more programming. See you later.
Bye.
You know?
And you know what? I don't feel bad for you. Who I feel bad for is the young wrestlers that break their bodies and go out there and perform to the best of their abilities every single night.
I feel bad for the wrestling fan. I feel bad that there will be those kids, teenagers, that will never get to experience what I grew up with. That amazing, amazing wrestling show. They never get that anymore.
If
they
things
get
don't
this
change.
half-ass, second-rate garbage.
And I guarantee you guys won't listen to us or what we have to say because we've said it time and time again. We almost sound like a broken record because
Yeah.
we've said it so many times. If you don't change, things will go down. You will go out of business. Your ship will sink. We've said it time and time again, and we've said ways to improve it time and time again, and I'm not going to go over that. But the problem is you're not listening. And we're not the only people saying it.
No.
We're not just two weird guys that just come out with these radical opinions. Everybody has a pretty similar opinion about the TNA product and the ways to turn it around. But yet you don't listen. You don't listen to the consumer. You're going down.
Yep, absolutely. Like UFC, they listen to smart marks, and they also listen to mainstream fans. They give the fans the fights that they want to see because that's what it's all about, because they know that the consumer drives the business, and instead you bring in people that think they know more than the consumer. You never know more than the
And
consumer.
it disrespects the consumer.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Eric Bischoff has called people all the different names in the book. Hulk Hogan basically thinks that he knows all, and people want to say, like, I'm bitter. Like, look, I respect Hulk Hogan, dude. Hulk Hogan is like, he's one of the main reasons I started watching pro wrestling and all that stuff. But it doesn't take anybody. You can see clear as day this guy is way past his prime. This guy is nothing now. And if he continues to defend what goes on TNA television, then you have no clue or concept of what you're doing.
Dixie Carter, you're more liable than anybody.
Absolutely.
You're running a company that is sinking. It's a sinking ship.
And I give Dixie credit. She had balls to go up there and take the smart mark questions and all that stuff, and she'll show up at the fan fest and yada yada yada. But now it's just a spiel. Now it's just something that she does, and she'll say that we constantly want to get better and improve and all. But now it's not even true. You don't care what the fans think. That's why you block people on YouTube whenever they actually express their opinion about a negative opinion towards TNA. That's why that when Sting won the title, when all that stuff went down, you had stuff flooded in your Twitter. They posted on the internet websites at least 300 people complaining about what went down. And you didn't respond to any of it. Okay?
And are you going to apologize to those people that spent the $34.95 and ordered Victory Road to get a horrible 1 minute and 20-second main event? Are you going to refund their money?
No.
Because they're never coming back to you again.
Well, first off, she couldn't refund their money because they can't afford that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, actually, they might be able to. It's probably two.
Yeah.
About $80.
Right. $80. Here you go. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's so
horrible.
ridiculous. The only thing thriving right now is mixed martial arts. It's unbelievable right now.
I'm super excited for Strikeforce in June.
Yeah.
Heavyweight tournament coming to Dallas. We're going to be there.
For sure, no doubt about it. If they come, we're coming. And that's the thing, is the passion that we have for pro wrestling, you can't get excited for it anymore. There's just not a lot going on right now, and I think it's a horrible shame. I think you should definitely have both. I think you can easily have both. You can easily both be successful, but the problem is pro wrestling has gotten so cocky that they've decided not to listen to their fan base, and they're going to suffer their demise, all of them, even the WWE. I don't care how much money they generate or whatever. UFC is only going to get bigger,
Yeah.
and when Triple H and The Undertaker and Edge and all those other guys are gone, which is very soon, you have nothing. You have absolutely nothing. So, in that note, we're done. I don't know when we're going to do our next video. We put out a lot right there, and we'll
TNA's
see.
just a disappointment.
TNA is a big disappointment. TNA is a huge letdown, and I think they're at the point of no return. I think they could do a lot of fixes, and it still wouldn't change much. People have given up on them, and rightfully so. Absolutely rightfully so.